Hello, welcome to Fibertown. This is episode 99. It's February 13th, 2015. I'm Emily, Chain of Fools on Ravelry, and Fibertown with an R-E on Instagram. I have a tennis ball. Hello! I'm trying to entice a certain someone up here to get her tennis ball, and she's just staring at me. So we'll see if she breaks down and comes up here. So we have an action-packed... It's not really action-packed, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I have some introductions. Folks said hello on the introductions thread on the Fibertown podcast group, and it is on Ravelry as Fibertown Podcast. Now let me just double check something, because someone mentioned this week that it was hard for them to find, and here's why. When I made the group a long time ago, I put a space between the fiber and the town. So it's Fiber Space Town Podcast. So if you're looking for the Rav group, that's where it is. So hi to Janice Mary, who is Jan, and she just got a Lendrum. She's a knitter who's starting to spin on a wheel. So very exciting for you, Jan. Congratulations, and thanks for saying hello. We have also Andra de Debbie, or Andrade Debbie. I'm not sure how you say that. She's from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan? Did I say that right? In Canada. And she's starting to learn about fiber too, and she's thinking about spinning, and welcome. Thanks for saying hi. The last person for this week is Tink Geek, who is Monique. Gosh, that rhymes a lot. Tink Geek, who is Monique from Charlottesville, Virginia. Hey, I'm up here, you're down there. So nice to see you saying hi on the board. She knits, she spins, she dabbles in dyeing, and she just started weaving too. All right. We have a giveaway. And technology is not being kind to me today. You're still not coming up? I'm waiting for this webpage to load. But this giveaway, and this, we're going to have so many giveaways coming up. But this first giveaway concerns the History Unwound retreat, which I'm very much hoping to attend. It's in March, I believe, in Williamsburg, Virginia. Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. My old stomping grounds. I mean, kind of my old stomping grounds. I attended undergrad in Williamsburg. And there is an amazing retreat that Kimberly, she's something about bunny, some bunnies love on Instagram. Anyway, she has very generously offered 2 classes to be given away today. And then next week's episode, 2 classes for somebody else to win. So if you can get to Williamsburg at all, you can have 2 free classes at this retreat. Now let me tell you a little bit more detail-wise. This is March 13th to 15th, and the teachers are amazing. Let me see. We have retreat teachers. Okay. Anna Zilborg, yes. Oh, hi. All right, yes, I know you wanted that. Anna Zilborg, Annie Modisette, Beth Smith, Donna Dracunis, Franklin Habit, and Ron Strong, Sharon Hilgers. Yeah, I know. So there is the ability to take 2 classes or to exchange the classes for the Saturday night festivities or one of Anna Zilberg's lectures/signings. So amazing. Amazing prize, and I get to offer it to 2 people. So thank you so much, History Unwound organizers. Kimberly, thank you very much for offering this. So yeah, I will start a thread, and you guys can go ahead and sign up. Okay. I don't have any FOs this week, but I do have works in progress. I have spinning, I have an Ask Fibertown, I have acquisitions, and I have Fiber Camp. A Fiber Camp recap. It has been an amazing week. It's Friday. It's just been an amazing week. So let's get going. No FOs. I've been busy with other things. And yeah. So very first thing are my rainbow socks, and these are for the Suburban Stitcher Rainbow Along. Now, it's very doubtful that I'm going to finish a pair by the end of the month. It's a short month. This is out of Wandering Wool. And the color, color's not so great here, but I'm on to the orange. I'm Roy G. bivvying it up, everybody. I'm onto the orange on the first pair. These are my Blether socks. And right now I am in repair mode because a whole bunch of stitches fell off the needles. And I am just noticing, when you look at yourself, it's not a usual thing, but I'm starting to grow gray in my temples, which is what I have wanted. I didn't notice it till just now. Okay, tangent. I go gray right here, mostly, and I don't like that. But I've wanted this distinguished, like, college professor look, and look, it's starting to come in. Of course, it's asymmetrical. All right, anyway, that was very weird. But yeah, if I'm gonna go gray, and, you know, I am, I want like, a streak, like, who is it? Is it Morticia who has the streak of gray, or is it the lady from... See, there's the Addams Family, that's Morticia. The Munsters, who's the one from the Munsters? She might be the one with the streak. Anyway, I want one of those streaks. I want to be a silver fox, but only right here, right here. All right, Alice is gone. I still have her ball. Anyway, so those are my socks. Hello, welcome to Fibertown. Fibertown, funk you up. Fibertown, funk you up. Kind of punchy. All right, sock blanket. You didn't expect this when you pressed play, did you? All right, There's been a lot of square making and not a lot of, okay, let's mark the square because my stitch markers have gone everywhere this week. However, I have it recorded on my Instagram, so let's check it out. Instagram. All right, I'm going to look at my hashtag, which is FT square a day. It keeps me honest. So I have this one. I think this was from Seashore Sharon, and I got 2 squares out of this tiny little ball of stuff. This is some Peace Fleece. I really enjoy knitting with this. This is from Fiber Trek, Wednesday. And yeah, there's the tag. Let's see, Peace Fleece. It's made in Maine. I did not know. I'd like a sweater out of some Peace Fleece. I'd also want a sweater out of this one she sent me. It's an alpaca blend. Okay, what else? Okay, this is the other one I got out of the Seashore Sharon ball. What else? Looking at my Instagram. Oh, yes, I hadn't shown this one off. This is an amazing wool alpaca. I think it's CVM alpaca. And it's called Maine Twist from New Wayne Fiber Mill. Or is that New Maine? I can't read the tag. What else have I done this week? Yes, I think I already showed you guys this one. Then I have this one, which is made out of some Van Gogh's Paint Box Poonies hand-spun. This one is, I made some collywobbles out of this. This is Shalimar sock in the bark colorway. And then this is Cephalopod in the Hawaiian bobtailed squid colorway. So, yep. My lovely sock yarn blanket. I'm wearing my my Bare Branches cardigan today in my mitts because it's cold. 9 degrees when I woke up. It's pretty cold for here. All right, so we have socks. We have sock yarn blanket. Enchanted Mesa time. If I hadn't been fiber camping, this would have been done. I love this. Very happy with this. Very happy knitting on it. My son saw me trying it on and he was blown away. He was like, wow. So it meets with the approval of someone who wears Batman t-shirts. I don't know what that says, but I'm happy with it. This is out of my hand-spun Jacob. All right, I've made a few modifications. Well, more than a few, really. But I talked about the modifications I made up top already. I did this solid dark. This is from the same fleece, the same Jacob sheep, separated and drum carded and dizzed into 3 different colors. The blended, which is right here, the dark, and the white. I have done a little bit of increasing in through here, and then now that I'm getting to my hips, it's just sitting right above my hips now. And it's going to be asymmetrical on one side of my hips. I'm doing a little more increasing for the hips. So just a few stitches here or there, and I'm really on the home stretch for the body. I just need some solid knitting time, which I have not had. And then I have to do the sleeves. Can't wait. Can't wait to wear this. I would love to have it done by next weekend, which is the Virginia Beach Yarn Getaway. I love it also because it's a combination of garter and stockinette. So, short rows are fun. It's all fun. I'm definitely going to make more Enchanted Mesas, as long as it turns out that it's fun to wear. That remains to be seen, but I think it will be. So, into spinning. I started spinning from my fairy fiber mother, my Inglenook bat, Gandalf bat. 3.8 ounces, has the Stansborough Gray, which is the Gandalf yarn. I like to think of it as the Gandalf fiber. I started it yesterday and finished it this morning. Oh, this is going to be a hat for my husband that I'll probably want to steal. But he saw this and claimed it right away. He said, I want that hat. It's Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll give him yarn for Valentine's Day. We don't really do Valentine's Day. We usually make each other a dinner. Or we make a dinner together, a nice dinner. Give some chocolate to the kids. So that's the spinning. Not my usual amount of productivity, but there's been a good reason for that. Okay, Ask Fibertown, number 42. Ask Fibertown, number 42. Here we go. P Panther 88. I have been spinning for about 6 months now. Up until now, I have 2-plied everything. I really want to chain ply. I've watched a couple of tutorials and I've tried, but I'm not very successful. Yeah, same thing for me when I started. I'm a crocheter also, so I thought that would help, but it doesn't seem to be. I have an Ashford Kiwi 2 wheel. I really wish there was someone near me that could be there with me and show me. I generally learn best by doing with someone there to watch and see if I'm doing it right. So do you have any super good tutorials that might help me, or books or anything, really? Becky. Hi, Becky. I can tell you what worked for me ultimately, and then please do chime in if you have a good way to learn how to chain ply. There is a tutorial that helped me, and I probably watched it over and over, just sort of because there's this real rhythm to chain plying, and that helped me get into that groove. It's by Sarah Anderson, who is the author of The Knitter's Book of Yarn Design. She has a YouTube video, and you'll find it if you just search for chain plying or Navajo plying. I would say put your wheel on your biggest whorl. So it's going to go slower, as slow as you can, and treadle slowly. Because I think for me, I felt like somehow if I treadled real fast, things would somehow click and fall into place. It was the opposite. I really couldn't make it work until I treadled slowly. And you know how you make a loop when you're chain plying? What helped me also is to make the loop as big as possible. And then take my other hand and sort of help when the ply twist came into it. And then you have enough time for that ply twist to come in, as well as to reach forward and grab your next loop through. So if you have, I don't know, maybe like this-ish, then you'll have enough time, as you're treadling slowly, you'll have enough time to let the twist come up, the ply twist, and then reach through and grab your next loop through. And then let the twist come up, maybe pinch it where there's that little knot. I like to pinch it there. and feed it into the wheel. Let the ply twist come up, grab your next loop through, feed it into the wheel. Am I helping you? I hope so. I'm having fun trying. So I would say slow in big loop. Big whirl, treadle slowly. Get a loop that gives you enough time to do what you need to do. Please feel free to add on to this. I hope that helps, Becky. Good luck. All right. I have acquisitions, and then I have Fabricamp talk. Minerva Turkey, the beautiful, engaging, just all around fun lady, Minerva Turkey, did a swap. I hope I didn't show any addresses. No, I don't think so. She did a swap on the Minerva Turkey podcast, and it's for barn raising quilt squares. Now, I signed up. I've never done a swap. I hit the stinking jackpot. I squealed for 20 minutes because my swap partner went over and above. So the parameters for this were 3 skeins of 20 grams for barn raising quilt squares, an edible treat of some sort, and a postcard from your area. And I'm just going to show you because, okay, presentation, people. The presentation is amazing. So it came with a little sticker, and then it's full of this sort of good stuff. Beautifully packaged. I do not, some people have the knack for this. I do not. I'm going to try to step up my game for this, though. Okay? My house is very functional, utilitarian. I'm not one of those people who has a decorating instinct. I don't know how to make things pretty, but this person does. Thank you. I think her name is Knit Ricks. Is that right? And she is amazing. All right, here's my edible treat. Everything has this ribbon on it. She also gave me a knitter's reference card. Very cool. I'll have to put that in a knitting bag. Here's the postcard. It's a knitting postcard because she said her locale does not have postcards. This is better. She's from Pennsylvania. Okay, this is the first thing I saw. Tags that I can sew into my projects. Now, I am easily amused and impressed, so you can imagine how much this blew me away. A Namaste Notion pouch with hedgehogs and mushrooms. Could there be anything a better combination? Hedgehogs and mushrooms. But wait, there's more. I got me a lottery ticket. I'm going to be scratching that soon. Another beautiful ribbon with some knitting pins / badges for my UK friends. A lavish bar, what? Yep, jasmine vanilla. See what I mean about the knack for making things pretty? If I sold stuff on Etsy, I'd just be throwing it in a bag and sending it to people. I'd win no points for presentation. But as I said, I'm going to try to step it up for this. So I have my yarns picked for this person, but I just have to get the rest. Look at those beautiful glass stitch markers. But wait, there's more. More stitch markers in here. Look at those. They have a beautiful little... I need more stitch markers too because, let me tell you, the teenage girls, they clean me out of stitch markers. And for the pièce de résistance, this is Vesper in Socktober Spooktacular. Oh, hang on. I'm going to open it up. I don't know if this person watches my podcast, but if you ever do, let me just say, you rock. All right, crinkle, crinkle. I don't get to crinkle things a ton on this podcast, so just listen to my crinkling and enjoy it. I insist that you enjoy it. There you go. This one is Regia Mosaic. Beautiful. Ooh, this one is Lemonade Shop, Rainbow Stripe. I've been hearing about Lemonade Shop. Get to try some. This one is Regia Summer Fruit. Gorgeous. And this one. I'm kind of in love with this person and everything she sent me. I'm a lucky girl. All right, let's talk about fiber camp. Oh, I didn't mention weaving. Okay. I have something on the loom that my campers started, and it's mostly in these colors. Creams, lavenders, dark purples, and a little bit of brown. So that's on there. I'll be weaving. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. I have so much to do fiber-wise. I'm going to go through fiber camp day by day. First, I need a drink. This is not a pickle juice jar. This says, I don't know if you can see it, Golden Harvest Mason. This has special memories. A couple years ago, I spent a month in Sanibel, Florida. Another high school trip. Science trip this time, so I got to do things I normally don't. I got to see amazing wildlife, trips, boats, fishing, manatees, just really, really great. It was the year my son, Oliver, learned to swim by throwing himself into the pool and sinking to the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, we went to this place called Pine Island where they have palm tree nurseries. It's very rural. Indigenous settlements, ruins of indigenous settlements, and tropical fruit orchards. And I bought honey from the orchard, as well as 30 pounds of mangoes, which I then peeled and sliced for dinner one night. It was my one contribution to the cooking. And I don't know, we had 10, 11 varieties. And they were amazing. So this was honey made from, let's see, pineapple, papaya, banana, mango trees, jackfruit, and I'm sadly done with it. I have a thing for honeys. I really love buying honey wherever I go, and I was so sad to see this one go. It was raw. It was very thick. I love honey you can practically chew. So recently, I've noticed a honey from New Zealand that's become popular. It's called Manuka honey, and it's made from bees that pollinate tea tree plants, like the tea tree oil, and it tastes like tea tree oil. It has a little hint of that, quite a hint of it, really, and it has antibacterial properties, and Trader Joe's had it for a good price, so I tried it, and I credit that and nightly whiskey drinking for clearing up the virus I've had. This is the episode of Tangents. On to fiber camp. Day 1. I had cast on everyone's hat for them and knit 6 rounds of ribbing, so that when they came, what they started knitting was the plain knit stitch. I questioned doing this because, was this the way you should really begin? Or should you begin casting on and learning knit and purl? I like a hat for a beginning project, but you have to learn how to purl right away. It's not a big deal, but the other thing is, if you're starting with not a lot of fabric to hold on to, and it can be quite fiddly, am I right? Do you ever think back to when you started fiber crafting? Just knowing how to hold things is strange. So I ultimately went with that decision to hand them something that was started. And I also did it because I knew that they were skeptical that they would finish their project in 4 days. Very skeptical. And it worked out really well. So in hindsight, yay, I'm glad I did it. So that first day, they came in, they were very excited, very motivated, and we had a blast. They were just full of ideas, and as I predicted, they had their own agenda. They had things they wanted to make. And what that meant for Fiber Camp is that, to a certain extent, I had to let some things go. And I knew that going in, I had a lot planned. And as we got to know each other and the time went on, I saw what they really wanted to do, and I wanted to honor that. But I still wanted to give them sort of a survey course of what is out there that you can get deeper into. So I treated most of the rest of the things we did like that. So the first day, let's see, we had some Spanish food for lunch. And then we had some crepe with Nutella and sugar and lemon for dessert. I mean, not all together, but they could choose. So we had a Spanish tortilla. We had some pisto, which is like a stewed vegetable thing, which they devoured. And we knit and we knit and we knit. They were so focused. And another reason this worked well with this many kids is that half of them had had previous fiber experience. Not necessarily knitting, some were crocheters. But they really quickly into it once they learned. I broke them up into 2 groups. One group of 4 went and got tea and coffee, and I gave the other group the basics, the basic knit stitch. And really quickly they started to teach each other. They started to help each other. So not only was it important to make knitters, but it was important to make teachers. They were really talented people and creative, and they caught on really quickly. There was one girl who had been taught she was a crocheter, and she just wanted to knit continental. But she was twisting her stitches. My mantra for, twisted stitches are beautiful. They're not as elastic as untwisted stitches. So my mantra, though, was that you are the boss of your knitting. If you want to do it this way, it makes a fabric, go with it. But just know there's another way to do it that can change things. So she proceeded with her hat and knit it with twisted stitches, continental. It worked out. It's a little bit small. She hasn't blocked it yet. The other person who was ambidextrous also wanted to knit continental. And and it worked for her too. She didn't twist her stitches, but that was a challenge for me because when something went wrong, it took me a little bit more work to figure it out. Also, when they eventually did learn the purl stitch, that was challenging for me because I know how to knit continental in colorwork specifically, but I don't ever purl in colorwork, so I hadn't learned. However, luckily we were at a yarn store when this happened, and one of the ladies there taught them how to purl continental, and that is, a really good example of the knitting community. There's always somebody who can help you. All right, so let's see, Tuesday. They came back and they were just immediately like, I need help with it. I need to do this. I need you to show me how to do it. They were like properly into it. And we had a lovely day. We ate fondue for lunch, both cheese and chocolate. And we watched Frozen. And that day I taught some of them how to drop spindle. I'm not a real fan of those drop spindles I got. However, they're just very unwieldy, and I think they're best rolled along the thigh. Not everyone was really interested. And that's fine. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't spend double the money on the drop spindles because it really didn't become the focus. That could almost be a whole nother ISW. And I think it's fine that, they focused on what they really wanted to do and everything else was an introduction. But they got a good knitting education, a beginning knitting education. 2 people finished their hat the second day. So they got that immediate gratification. I taught them how to decrease that day, and they used their Seashore Sharon notebooks to write down the decrease recipe. They cast on 88 stitches. Those first 2 hats fit quite beautifully. And, they were talking about, maybe we could knit in this class. It's just, lecture. And, maybe we can knit here and we can knit there. And we'll have a knit night and we'll have a knitting group. And they were properly into it. Did I say we watched Frozen? We watched Frozen. Alice had the time of her life. She got loved on. She got lots of attention. She got played with. She got laughed at. She got fed some cookies. So, Wednesday was our field trip day, and sadly 2 people were sick. But we got together a little later that day. And on Wednesday, we were mostly out and about, but wherever we stopped, I had to sort of prod people to get up and stop their knitting and go to the next place. And I took a lot of pictures. I was just tickled by watching them hunched over their knitting. I was hoping that we would go out for walks every day just to sort of relieve that, the sitting there knitting all day. Nobody wanted to go. They just wanted to keep going. So we took our bus to Old Town, Alexandria from DC. Most of the time they were at my house, but this one day we were not. We stopped and had a snack and a coffee and a tea. I had an amazing chai tea latte at a place called Killer ESP. If you ever are in Old Town on King Street, Killer ESP. It stands for espresso, sorbet, and pie. I'm still dreaming about the chai tea latte I had. And I had a steak and mushroom pie. It was delicious. I will be going back. Then we went to Fiberspace with our Fiberspace bags, and they were expecting us, and they were incredible to us. Nicole, who is the fiberista, showed us all around the store, talked about different weights of yarns and pairing them with different needles, and they were all over the samples. They were properly excited. That's kind of the phrase for the week, properly excited. Into the colors, into trying on samples. We're not in the store for 5 minutes, and I see several people with arms full of Miss Babs and hazelnuts, and I don't know what else. But the Miss Babs snagged them right away. And they were all plotting their next project. Now that 3rd day, most everybody else finished their hat. And there were only 2 hats that hadn't been finished. And one of those people was sick. So we went from Fiberspace. We spent, more than an hour there. We sat and knit for a while in the front room. And then we went for lunch in DuPont Circle at a place called Teaism. Delicious. And right on the same block is Looped Yarn Works, and that's on Connecticut Avenue in DC. And we went upstairs, and very welcoming. Both places were really busy, and there was instant knitting circle. They sat down, and there were some older ladies there that were giving them advice, and they were like, "Have you been on Ravelry?" And yes, and they all got Ravelry accounts. And I hope that they will start to really get into it and use them. And I encouraged them to message me there, and they had fun picking their names. They're funny names. I'll have to like get their okay to tell you what they are. But more yarn was purchased there, and there was, ooh, I'm gonna bring my mom back here, and ooh, I need to knit that, and how many stitches did you cast on? And it was really gratifying. They were properly excited. So, let's see. Thursday. Pajama day. We decided it would be pajama day. Another movie was watched. The 2 last hats were finished. Between Wednesday and Thursday, 2 or 3 of the girls knit headbands because they learned how to cast on and purl on Wednesday on the bus in the coffee shop. And I would teach a couple of them, and they would teach their friends, and I would check on it, and it'd be great. And so they cast on the same amount as they did for their hat. I probably would have counseled a fewer stitches for a headband, but they turned out great. They just knit until that was maybe, I don't know, this wide, all in ribbing. So they really practiced their knitting and purling, and then I showed them how to bind off. And then, so on Thursday, we had, everyone had their second or third project going and plans for more. And their friends want them to knit this for them. And they were grateful. Oh, I didn't even talk about the dyeing. We did the dyeing on Tuesday. They were grateful. They were happy. My husband, who drove them back and forth, said, he came back on Tuesday and said they all got off the bus and they were so happy. And they knitted the whole bus ride back to DC. And they said it was the best ISW ever. And they said, you have to do it next year, but you're never going to have a group as good as we are. They're all seniors, and they'll be flying away. So, all in all, a fantastic time. Now on Thursday, I did give them an introduction to weaving because we just didn't get to it until then. And I kept saying, they're already in their PJs. Can't they stay the night? Can't we just extend this? And they're like, yeah, we need to extend this. They did some weaving. I have the weaving going. I gave them, with my 3 fleeces I currently have in house, I gave them a little lesson on different sheep types and the monoculture of the merino, and just cautioned them on that. I showed them how to wind on a niddy noddy and how to use a skein winder, and we used the drum carder. There are a couple bats that got left behind. They're pretty little mini bats. So they got to blend colors. And on Tuesday, I forgot to mention the dyeing. We totally played with color. I wish I had taken a picture of all of them. I didn't. Because I was too busy untangling. I used the Knit Picks Superwash Merino, the Bear, the worsted weight. And I trusted the ties. I should have put like 3 more ties on there. So I spent a lot of time untangling. But we had, one girl came with an inspiration. This was Sam. She came with a picture of a plaid flannel, and she wanted to dye something inspired by that. It came out amazing. It was red, and we left spots of white, and she put pops of black, and it was stunning. Meg did something in browns that came out like a caramel mocha. It had like caramelly and purpley and brown. It was just gorgeous. And she found something at Fiberspace and said, hey, this is kind of like what I dyed. Then we had Andy dyed a rainbow in the pot. So it's a rainbow variegated. Amazing. And we had a gorgeous purpley blue and green. Then we had another that was mostly blue. And then we had a yellow and orange, where the girl wanted to dye something like a lion's mane. Came out gorgeous. Reds, a plum, and they loved it. They had a lot of fun. And I think they got that it really is a way to express your creativity. So now I had tons of dye stock left over, so I dyed everything. Little white sample skeins that I had. Some of my yogurt is now red, my yogurt fleece. What else? This was given to me by my fairy fiber mother, and this started out like a tan color. And I put some greens and blues, and it's very, like, the depth of color just gets amazing. And this is the same tan fiber with reds and purples on it. Some of this was dyed by me, some by my campers. Look how beautiful. More sample skeins. Whoa, that is electric. It's much more purple in real life. Some more fiber. Green, blue. Oh, I need to wrap this up. Purpley pink. Greens. This was to use up some red that was still in the dye pot. Now I got this whole like pecan colors. More greens, purples, reds. This is some of my lamb's fleece locks that I just threw in the dye pot. More sample skeins. Ooh, some purpley merino. I over-dyed this with purple. Ooh, there's some of my Cormo left over. I just threw it in the dye pot like this. Yep. So I need to sort through that. Have I talked enough? 40 minutes. Yeah, I have. I will definitely look forward to doing this again, and I hope that I get to hang out with these people some more and knit with them. Now, all of them on Thursday recorded a few minutes of their experience, and I watched it and just put a huge smile on my face. Alice was in some of them, and I went today to edit it into what I'm currently recording, and it's gone. And I'm trying not to be too sad, but I am sad. And hopefully my husband will get them to sit down and do it again at school. Maybe I'll send cookies to entice them. They showed their projects, they showed their yarn, they talked about what was hard and surprising and what they liked. So hopefully you will see it. You will see that at some point. I don't know if it will be with this episode or not. So yeah, go on the thread and enter to win classes for History Unwound, 2 classes in Colonial Williamsburg in March. And check out that retreat. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go. I don't know when my next episode will come out, if it will be before the Virginia Beach Yarn Getaway, which is next weekend, the 19th-ish. Possibly, possibly not. You know what? I'm going to save it for after, because then I'll have some prizes to give away for my 100th episode, which is the next one. Okay. Y'all take care.